Hey guys, this is Chris, Tabletop Sports Delaware, and I thought I would show you tonight Spirit Island. Spirit Island. It is a game by Greater Than Games, designed by Eric Royce. And if you want to know about what Spirit Island is about, if you've been playing board games at all for the last 20 or 25 years, in all likelihood you or a friend of yours has drug the Settlers of Catan out onto the table. The Settlers of Catan are these voyagers have approached an island, and they've decided this would make a wonderful place to create a new home. And they decide to try to exploit as many resources as they can in order to build roads, so that way they can get to their settlements and even increase the size of their settlements to cities, and making very long roads, and even raising armies so that way bandits cannot attack and deprive the people of their hard-earned goods. And the most prolific settler of them all wins the game. Imagine this is Catan and the island is fighting back and wants to scare the bejesus out of every single invader that came in trying to take advantage of the land and exploit the resources, and they want to scare them all and shove them all back in the frickin' sea from whence they came. That's what Spirit Island is. Good way to describe the theme of the game. Anyway, let me show you components, what they do. We'll go over some rules, and then we'll have a playthrough in a separate video. So let us go ahead and take you over to the table here. And you're going to see various things that come in it, and we'll discuss the components as we cover them here. You're going to see various boards. First, you have your fear board. I'm not sure exactly what to call it. I haven't read the rule book in a long time. This is your main game board, and it's going to keep track of a lot of things. You're going to have an island. 4 of these come with the game. It plays 1 to 4 players. And one of these is going to be on for each person that is playing. You have various components over here that comes in this black plastic tray. And let's bring these over here so you can see them better. These are the Dahan. They are the native people of this island, of whom the spirits have befriended. They kind of look like little miniature mushrooms, kind of maybe represent the huts in which they live. And then you have the invaders themselves, the explorers. And they look like little cavalier dudes with their flags and everything. And they are going to be the ones who are going to have little towns built that do so much. I mean, you know, as much as a town can. But this is the smaller of the two. And once those need to spread out, then you're going to start to see cities pop up. And cities can be bad news because they're kind of really, really hard to take out once they're entrenched. You're also going to have some, and these are going to be placed on the board here, on the island board here. You have your spirit. Let's go over your spirit. Your spirit is represented by this board here. And first, on the other side, it is going to give you some information about the spirit setup. It'll tell you where to put presence tokens. We'll cover that in just a moment. It also gives you a little rundown of what you can expect your spirit to be able to do, whether it's offensive, if it's a control spirit, fear, defense, or utility. That information is located here on the back of this card. The front is the card that you're going to be using primarily throughout the game, because it tells you what resources you can generate, what powers you have, and this is going to be your in-game guide. So before I do that, is I'm going to be filling it up. So let me go ahead, and I'll explain what I'm doing here in just a moment, okay? But for now, I'm going to put those there. So this is our spirit board, our player mat. Things that go on the player mat, and also on the board. You're going to have these little wooden circular tokens, very thin tokens, and they are called your presence tokens, and they represent where you have presence on the board, which comes in handy for certain powers being used. And you will start by placing them here on your player mat, and as you place presence on the board, you will reveal increased energy that you can use on each turn, or increased cards, the number of cards that you can play per turn. Once these are covered up, you will be able to see that my spirit, Lightning Swift Strike, will be able to generate 1 energy per turn and can play up to 2 cards per turn. That is how that starts. There are other tokens also. There are little reminder tokens. So that way you can place this somewhere on the board. Oh, we're going to defend at a higher value. I need to remind myself to do that. Oh, I'm granting this player a certain kind of power. So I'm going to put this there so they know that I'm doing something for them so we don't forget to do it. Because a lot can happen in this game. So they give little reminder tokens. And I stick those there. These are the energy tokens that we are going to use, and they come in denominations of 1 and 3, so that way you can use your energy, generate it, and then spend it to use powers. Also, and I'll go over the various things here in a moment, we also have each spirit is going to have a special rule. And Lightning Swift Strike special rule is, might be able to see it right there, Swiftness of Lightning. For every purple emblem I have on my cards, I can do a slow power as if it were a fast power. Power cards or innate powers. We'll get to those in a moment, I believe. We're getting ready to head that way right now. Let's go to our main board here, which I have so lovingly referred to as the fear board. And then we'll wrap back around on everything else as far as components and how to play. On the fear board, you're going to see a few things. First, you're going to see, you're going to get fear cards with your game. I think it comes with 15 fear cards. And basically, you're going to take 9 fear cards for the game, and you will set the rest aside. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One way you can win this game is by scaring the crap out of the settlers and making them run back into the ocean. And one way to do that is by using fear cards. If you empty the fear deck, it says right there, victory. However, we put 3 fear cards, terror level 3. You'll notice this is similar to this side over here. That tells you your current victory condition. Okay? As you reveal more fear cards, you get to terror level 2, which is, instead of needing to destroy all invaders, towns, and cities, if you get this over here, you don't have to worry about destroying all the little invader dudes, just the towns and the cities. And then if you get to terror level 3, you don't even have to worry about the little towns. All you have to do is take out the big cities. I'll put these over here for reference so you can see them. Invaders. So that's what I'm talking about, invaders. And you got the small little towns like that. And then you've got the gargantuan cities. Okay. Next we're going to talk about is fear tokens. Anytime you generate fear and you start with, and it tells you right here, 4 fear per player. So since I'm playing solo, I'm going to have 4 fear tokens. These are the fear tokens, where it's just like an open mouth and they're screaming because they're scared to crap. Anytime you generate fear, you're going to move fear down here, and once you have moved all of the fear into the fear pool, you're going to take a fear card and place it here to be used in the next round. And then all of these go back up. Ways to generate fear are by destroying. If you destroy a city over here, If you destroy a little town, you generate 1 fear. If you destroy a city, you generate 2 fear. There are cards that allow you to generate fear by doing certain things, and we'll cover that in a little bit as well. But you generate fear to get fear cards, and the fear cards are going to allow you to do certain things depending on what terror level you are at. As you can see, terror level 1, terror level 2, terror level 3, as indicated by these little tabbed cards that you can move over. And each terror level, it is increasing the effect that it has on what you can do. So the more fear, the higher the terror level, the better off you are. And then once you use a fear card, you discard it down here. Right here is very easy, and it's going to tell you what the Spirit Island phase order is from start to finish. We'll cover that in a bit. Another thing is blight. And any time that damage is done to the island, blight appears. Almost like a spiritual blight, perhaps, you might think. And you're going to start with 1 blight, which goes in the little eye coming up out of the earth on your map. So the blight will go there. If you run out of blight, you lose the game. There are cards that allow you to remove blight and place it back here. They're never taken from the game, but you can take them from the board. There are strategies, but yeah, this is what blight is. Yeah, a little closer. Let me show you. These little gray, pimply looking things, that is blight. Then you have explorer cards. And it comes with Tier 1 cards, Tier 2 cards, and Tier 3 cards. And what this is, there's a phase during the turn where explorers come out from the towns and from the coast, and they move around and they explore and make it so that way they can build and then ravage the land if they're unchecked. And what they do is they indicate a land type that they can move into, indicated by the design that is on the card. Wetlands, sands, forest, mountains, and the ocean. And later on, coastal lands will be anything that is adjacent to the ocean. So those are the various kinds of land types. I'll do that. You're going to, it comes with 4 Tier 1s. You're going to remove 1 and keep 3 for the game. It's going to come with 5 Tier 4s. You're going to remove 1 and keep 4 for the game. It's going to come with 6 Tier 3s. You will remove 1 and use 5 for the game. And then 3's on the bottom, 2's in the middle, 1's on top, and you're going to place them right here on the Explorer pile, like so. Next, let's cover some regular basics on cards, if we can. Each spirit comes with 4 basic starter cards. And here is an example. Let's use this example. Well, we'll just go through all of them for Lightning Swift Strike. We'll go over the anatomy of a card. There are 2 kinds of powers, indicated both by the color here and also by a symbol here for speed. Your fast powers are red and also have a picture of a red swallow here. Your slow powers are blue and also have an illustration of a turtle right there. This is the cost in energy in order to use this power. It also indicates where it may be done. Now, this is a place where I have presence right here. If I have 2 presents, that is considered a sacred site. And some of these powers, you need to be near a sacred site to do it. This one, well, let's just go here. There's no range listed, so this can be done anywhere. Actually, this is an effect rather than something that happens here on the map. This one, a range of 1, which means it must be either where you are or up to 1 space away from where you have presence. So range of 1, I could do it here, here, or here. If I had a presence here, I could do it here, 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 or here. If you have a range of 2, it's within 2. However, this indicates a sacred site. You have to have a sacred site in order to use this power. And in order to do that, it's a range of up to 2 from a sacred site, which is where you have 2 presence. So I could use this up to 2 spaces away, any of those. The only one I could not use it in initially would be this one here, because it is 3 spaces away from a sacred site. Now, if I had a sacred site, say right here, then I could use this anywhere on the island. So that's a little more on sacred sites and presence. And then it says what you can do on the card. Say, for instance, the original Lightning's Boon. I can target a spirit. I target a spirit, and the target spirit may use up to 2 of their slow powers as if they were fast powers on this turn. Not only powers on cards, but also the innate powers here. If the innate powers have a slow speed, this can be used fast as well. And it's up to the spirit, the target spirit, to choose which powers to make fast. He doesn't have to declare it right up front. He can do it as he goes. This one, Raging Storm, simply does 1 damage to each invader. Now, when you do damage to invaders, let's go ahead and set this up, because we know a city goes here, a town goes there, a city goes here. We've got some Dahan to put out. Let's put our Dahan where they go. So there's 2 here, and it's indicated on the map what goes where. Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Let's put a couple guys here where we have our sacred site. Now, it says do 1 damage to each invader. Basically, those guys have 1 hit point. These guys have 2 hit points. These guys have 3 hit points. Okay? So 1 damage to each invader, you would destroy him. And you would do 1 damage to the town, lay it on its side. You would do 1 damage to the city, lay it on its side. Unless you do 1 more damage to each of those at the end of the turn, they're going to repair themselves. They need to be destroyed in order to get it. And remember that if you destroy a town, you generate 1 fear, and if you destroy a city, you generate 2. Okay? But damage to each invader. And here's another one. I like this one. Shattered Homesteads. Shattered Homesteads. It is a slow power, but it allows you to incite a fear and to destroy 1 town, which incites another fear. Okay? Oh, that goes there. Sorry. And then the last one here, just to give examples of what they do. Harbingers of the Lightning, which is a slow power. Target land is any of them, and some will have a target land where it'll say only in mountains and jungle or something like that right here. But this says any land. Some will say only a land with Dahan. Some will say only a land with invaders. And invaders can include explorers, towns, and cities. Collectively, they are known as invaders. And this says you can push up to 2 Dahan. And 1 fear if you pushed any Dahan into a land with towns or cities. Now, there are 2 things you can do in the game called pushing and gathering. Pushing is, as you might expect, pushing something from a target land to another land. Gathering is gathering stuff into a target land. So in this instance right here, push up to 2 Dahan. Anywhere within a range of 1 land from where I have presence. So I have presence here, and I have Dahan here, so I'm going to target this land and push up to 2 Dahan. So I can push them here. Now, if I pushed any Dahan into a land with a town or a city, I do 1 fear. By the same token, if I had something where I could gather 2 Dahan within range of 1, I could target this land, and even though it looks like I'm doing the same thing, gather to Dahan into the target space. So it depends on the wording, but pushing is pushing from a target land, and gathering is gathering towards a target land. So those are two actions that may come up during the course of the game. Not only do you have your basic starting deck of cards, which match the iconography here on your player map, but there are two other kinds of cards that you can have. You have minor cards, minor powers, and as you might imagine, they're minor powers. Cost is 0, cost is 0, cost is 1, cost is 0. They don't cost a lot, but they give you different things that you can do. And anytime that you can gain a power card, for instance, doing this power right here, you take 4 power cards, you look at them, you select which one you want, and set the other 3 aside. So anytime you take a minor power card, you're going to draw 4, select the one you want, set the other 3 aside. You can also get a major power card. Major power cards cost a little bit more, and they do a little bit more. Tsunami, Talons of Lightning, Terrifying Nightmares. They cost a little bit more. However, you do it just the same as a minor power. You take 4 of them. You look and you decide which one you want. However, when you take one, you must forget a power that you already have from your hand. One of your cards. These are considered powers. You can forget / lose one of your starting powers, these guys, or any other power that you've gained during the game. Even the one that you pick here. It's in the rules. I don't know why you would do that, but if you take a major power, you must forget one power that you already have, including the one that you have just taken. So basically, you're exchanging for a major power. You're adding minor powers, but you are exchanging a power for a major power. Now, one more thing about powers. Let's look at your innate powers, which is right here on your player mat. Let's move you guys out the way. Your innate powers, I think we can see it pretty good right there. You're going to see these little symbols here. These little symbols here, they represent elements. They represent elements. And there are different elements in the game, and they show up on the sides of the cards. And I'm going to try to get a representation of them here so you can see them basically. But say this card right here, it has a gray one, I forget what it is, and also a red one. This one has a moon, a flame, and also a green one. This one has a yellow sun. It has a blue and a green one. Now you're going to see that your innate powers require a certain number of certain elements in order to work. So initially, in order to do this, you have to have 3 orange and 2 purple. There's no more than 1 of any kind of element on a card. But that tells you that you're going to have 3 cards in order to do the innate powers. So once you place this spirit token right here, this presence out here, you can play a 3rd card. That's when you can start to do your innate powers. But they require the different ones. Now this has that has 1 orange and 1 purple. That has 1 orange and 1 purple. That has 1 orange and 1 purple. So right now you can do the 3 and 2, no problem. And all you have to do is have these cards in play. You don't have to use them in order to do this. You don't have to have used them in order to do this. All you have to do is have them paid for, so that way you can use these cards, use these elements. They are present. When they are, you can do this. For instance, if you have 3 orange and 2 purple as lightning swift strike, you can destroy a town. Destroy 1 town as long as you are within range of 1 of a sacred site. That sucker go bye-bye, generate a fear. Okay? And then if you get more, your starting deck would allow you to go to 4 orange and 4 purple. So even just with this starting deck, you can go to the second one, where you may instead destroy a city, but the city has to be within range of 1. It says you may, though. Some say instead, which you have to do it. This says you may instead, so if you don't have one in range, it doesn't penalize you for not being in range of a city. You can still destroy the town. The higher up this goes, it says also destroy 1 city, 1 town within range, and then also destroy 1 more city and town within range if you get all the way up to the maximum requirement. So that is what the innate powers are, and again, it indicates whether it is a fast or slow speed. There's not a lot more to cover, really, truth be told. I think there's nothing to do but to go ahead and play the game. So give me just a second and we're going to do just that. Okay, didn't require much setting up because pretty much I've done everything already. Before we start, we are going to flip the top Explorer card so that way we can see where explorers enter on the island. So this is kind of like turn 0.0. We have indicated wetlands. So now any wetlands that are either adjacent to a city or a city, or coastal, any coastal lands are going to get an explorer. So we'll say from this town right there, he comes out. That's essentially what is happening. This wetlands here has a city. So we're going to go ahead and place one there. That is our starting little setup. Okay. And then we're going to move this here. And now we are going to start the game. And we will go slowly through this section here, Spirit Island Phase Order. Okay? Let me set these up so they're easier to handle. I just keep my energy tokens right there. Nice and central and easy to grab. And this is a solo setup. You can play with 2 spirits solo. You can play with 1 spirit solo. You can play up to 4. 2 people can take 2 spirits. However you want to do it. Mix and match. You know, moose and squirrel. Play it however you like. So first, you have the spirit phase. And the first thing is growth. And this is growth. Now let me tell you what the growth symbols mean. You have, let me move it over here so you can see it. I have 3 choices. One is this one divided by these vertical lines. This one, let's go the other way. Let's start down here. First, if I choose this one here, I gain 3 energy with which to cast spells, or use powers. And I can add a presence to the island up to a range of 1 away from anywhere where I have presence. Not a sacred site, just presence. So up to 1 away, I could place one here or here right now. The second one is, and for lightning, it's kind of handy. It is. Add presence up to 2 away, and then add presence where you have presence already. So you're placing 2 presents down right away. Makes a big jump here. However, that can also create another sacred site. So up to 2 away, I could go 1, 2, and then where I already have presence, I could go boom, and I have another sacred site on the other side of the map. Another quick way to get out there. And I'm closer to more energy, but I can do 3 cards if I do that, as you saw on the board. The last one is you gain energy. You gain a power card, either minor or major. It doesn't matter which one you take. It's totally up to you. Again, minor power, you're taking 4, choosing 1, and setting the other 3 aside. So you're adding a power. Major power, you're drawing 4, you're choosing 1 and taking it into your hand, setting the other 3 aside, but you have to forget a power you already have. So you're exchanging 1. Minor powers you add, major powers you exchange. So that is the growth phase of the turn here. Spirit phase, growth. I am going to gain energy to start. I want to bank energy. So I'm going to go +3. And I'll take dink, dink, dink. Yeah, 3 energy. Add a presence up to 1 away. So I think I'm going to add a presence. Okay, I'm going to add a presence right. Now let's get the energy going up. I'll get the cards in a minute. So I'll add a presence right there. I want to get out into the board so that way I have more presence here. I want to try to shove them onto the coast as best I can. Keep the interior clear. It's worked for me so far, so I'll give it a try. So I've added the presence. Now I do this here, where I do the presence portion, or gain energy. Oh, this is, yeah, presence. Okay. And yeah, blah. This is presence. Never mind. So now we're doing the gain energy phase of the spirit grows phase. This is gain energy. So energy is 1 right here. So I gain an energy to go with the 3. Okay. And then it is choose and pay for powers. And I can play 2 cards per turn. So I'm going to choose 2. And I think for this one, I'm going to start with make things fast, like so. And then I'm also going to do fear and destroy a town, which is slow, but I can make it fast. So I can do it quickly. Unless damage to each invader. Because what happens here, we've moved this card here. On this turn, they're going to build in the wetlands, and I'll show you how they build in the wetlands. But then someone else will explore it, and we move these cards down. Then they're going to ravage in the wetlands. If I get rid of that, that prevents a build, and we only have to worry about the one on the coast. So I may do that. So I'm probably going to instead do... I'm probably going to push, and I'm probably going to fear and destroy. That's what I think I'm going to do right there, because that gets some fear going. Okay. So you take the cards you're going to play, place them here, and you take your energy and put them on the card to represent that that is not part of your pool anymore. You're going to put it on those cards. And you don't have to spend all your energy at once. You can bank it, you can build it up. That way you get some major powers. You can afford to play them. So we'll just set these here. Okay. Alrighty. That is choose and pay for powers. Spirit phase is done. Now fast powers. That is a slow power. As you can see here, that is a slow power with the turtle and the blue. That is a slow power. And my innate is a slow power. So I have no fast power, so I'm not going right now. So we go to the invader phase. Blighted Island is an advanced rule. I don't use it, not yet. Fear, if we had any fear cards, if we had generated enough fear and had fear cards and they were here, we would play them at this time before the invaders took their turn. There are none. So next is Ravage, and there are no lands that are going to be ravaged. Next is Build. Well, wetlands we're going to build on. Now, how you build on wetlands, how you build. If there are more towns than cities, you build a city. If there aren't, you build a town. So there are no cities here, no towns, so that's going to get a town. There is a city here, so there is not more towns and cities, so it is going to get a town. Now remember, uh, the explorers have 1 hit point, towns have 2 hit points, cities have 3 hit points. So if you let them build, it's going to be tougher and tougher to get them off. Next, after build, we have explore, and we are going to reveal the top explore card, like so. And the jungles are being explored. So any jungles adjacent to or including an invader, which includes collectively the explorers, the towns, and the cities, is going to get an explorer. Well, there's a city there in that jungle, so it gets one. And this jungle is next to a city or town and also coastal, so it gets an invader. Say this one came in on the ship, landed next to this tree and tied up and is going in, taking a big old dump and claiming Etheria. This is my place. That is explore. And then the last thing you do during the invader phase is advance invader cards. So we're going to put this here. So in the next turn, wetlands will ravage and jungles will build, and then we'll reveal a new explore place. And then after that, it goes into the discard and it just keeps cycling down. If you run out of explorer cards when you need to flip an explorer card, you'll lose the game. So you don't want to dawdle. Okay, that is the invader phase. Now we go to the slow powers. Dish my jam. First, we are going to push up to 2 Dahan. And I'm going to push them over here. Okay? And generate a fear. If you pushed any Dahan into a land with a town or a city, and there is a town, so we generate a fear. This goes into my I used it pile, which I like to keep there. They don't discard yet. They discard at the end of it, which is coming up right now, pretty much. Second one, I'm going to pay my 2 energy, so that way I can play Shatter Homesteads. Within range of 2 of a sacred site, I generate a fear and destroy a town. So I want to, let's see, right here I want to destroy a town, which generates a fear, and also generate a fear. So now I have 3 fear out of the 4. I generate 1 more fear, we get a fear card. And that goes into the I done it pile. Okay? There is one more thing I wanted to cover, and I didn't cover it earlier, so I'm going to cover it at the end of the turn. Now, I've done all my slow powers. Time passes. So basically, you're going to take your powers that you played during the turn and set them over here, kind of like a discard pile kind of thing. We'll just slide this down a little bit, so that way we can put them right there. So that's our and we'll put them like that. That's our discard pile. You can look at it, you can know what's in there. It's not a government secret or anything. And then we go to the next turn. Now, what I wanted to mention was the ways you can lose is if you run out of these cards, if all the blight gets put on the table, and there was something else, I can't remember what. We'll get to it. Anyway, blight, how it gets added. If the invaders do damage to the ground, to the earth that they are on, which means they do 2 or more damage, you add blight. So 1 hit point, that's also 1 power of damage it can do. So getting rid of the town, we're not going to add blight here because it can only do 1 damage. However, that can do a whole lot of damage over here, and we're going to be adding blight. Anytime blight is added to ground where you have presence, 1 presence is removed from the game. Anytime blight is added to a land that already has blight, you place the blight and the additional blight on that land, and you place another blight on an adjacent one that you choose. So you need to be careful with blight and not let it run away with you. There's also some rules with the Dahan and also with the fence, but we'll get to those as we get to them playing the game. Let's go ahead and get to our next turn. So we have gotten to the next spirit phase, and first is going to be growth. Now for this turn, I think I stretch a leg would like to add 2 presence. So what do I have? Damage to 1 to each invader, and I can go fast, but I can't use that, and that's the only one. Damage 1 to each invader. Jungles will build. So maybe I could do that. I've got to be within range, though. Yeah, I think I'll do it there. I'd rather show that one up there. Okay, so I'm not trying to win this game. I'm going to be showing you things. Alright, so we are going to add 2 presents. So I'm going to do 3 cards and generate 2 energy. 1, 2 away. I'm going to place it right here. And then 1 where I already have presents. I'm going to place it there so I have a new sacred site. I now have a new sacred site because it has 2 presents. The Dahan are really grooving with me up there in that coastal jungle. So that is my growth. My energy is I gain 2 energy this turn. So I will take that. And then I have cards to play. So I'm going to choose the cards I'm going to play, and I'm going to pay for them. So this one costs 3, which I could use a 3, but I like using the 1s. And that costs 1 to indicate I'm going to use it. I am spending my bank on this turn. And then next turn I won't have any cards, so I will reclaim, and then I'll also gain a power card and gain an energy. I'll show you how to do that. So I have Spirit Phase growth, gain energy, choose and pay for powers. That is the end of the Spirit Phase. Next is fast powers. Okay? So my first one is indicated by the red here, and the red picture of the swallow or dove or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to pay for that power and place it here as my already done it. Target spirit, moi, may use up to 2 slow powers as if they were fast powers this turn. So this is a slow power. I don't have enough elements to do my thundering destruction yet. So this is going to be a fast power instead of the slow as indicated by the turtle icon and the blue. I'll leave it there so you can see it. Probably what I ought to do anyway. So I'm going to pay my 3 energy to do this power. This allows me to do it as a fast power. 1 damage to each invader. Anywhere where it's 1 away from anywhere where I have presence. I think I'm going to do it here. So 1 damage to him, 1 damage to the town. Flip it on its side. Okay? He gone. You don't generate fear doing that to explorers. 1 per town, 2 per city. And I have not done that this turn. There's still only 3 generated fear, so we're not doing a fear card yet. But I digress. Okay, we've done our fast power, so now it's time for the invader phase. Blighted Island, not using it. Fear, I don't have any fear cards. Ravage, the wetlands. Now, you count up how much damage your bad guys can do to that land. Okay? Here, he can only do 1. So, you need to do 2 damage to add a blight to the land. So, nothing happens there. This one here, that one up there, you have 1 for Dude Head, you have 2 for Little Town Guy, and 3 for Big City Freak. So that is a total of 6 damage that it's going to do. The Dahan defend at a 2. Don't defend at a 2. The Dahan have 2 hit points. So if 2 damage is done there and there's no way to protect them or defend them, each one will absorb, one at a time will absorb 2 of those damage points done by the invaders. So if there were 3 Dahan there, 6 damage, they're all gone. Let's say it was only 1 explorer. Does 1 damage, you flip the Dahan over to show that he took a damage, but he's still there. And then during the time passes phase at the very end, damaged pieces are repaired. But anyway, in this instance, the Dahan took 2 of the 6 damage done, so the Dahan is removed from the game, and you add a blight to the land because it did 2 damage or more. Now we have 2 blight on the island, only 4 remain. That is Ravage. Next we go to build. Here we're going to build a town. Like so. Because there are not more towns than cities. Here, there are not more towns than cities. We are going to build a town right there. Then we go to explore. And the next explorers are going to be in the deserts, in the sands. So we're going to place an explorer here and an explorer here. I'll do that so you can see them better. I think it's a better way to do it, so you can see what's there. Alright, so that's where the explorers go. Because sand, it's adjacent to towns, and it is adjacent to towns. If these were not here, no explorer would go here because there would be no towns to which this was adjacent. So getting those cities and towns down helps keep things manageable. We've done the explorer. The last thing in the invader phase is to advance the invader cards. Discard. Now we're going to ravage in the jungles, and we're going to build in the deserts, in the sands. Next we do our slow powers. We have no more remaining powers, so we go straight to time passes. Now in time passes, you take your used powers, put them in your discard. Any damaged pieces, such as this town, gets fixed. If any Dahan were flipped over because they took an odd number of hit points, you would roll them back on top. And then we go to the next turn. Okay. The next turn we are going to do this spirit phase growth right here. And that one allows us to gain 1 energy, gain a power card of our choice, and to reclaim all of our used power cards. So we're going to go ahead, let's reclaim the card since it's on the left, right there. So now we have access to all of those again. Let's gain a power card. We're going to go with a minor power card here. And I want to look for similar elements to be able to do this more often. So we have, that's a good one, Steam Vents. Destroy and Explore. And that's a fast one. That's going to prevent builds. That's definitely worth looking at. Then we have Quicken the Earth's Struggles. 1 damage to each town or city, or defend 10. Ow. And it's got an orange, which we need more of. Not good. There's 2 of them I like. Visions of Fiery Doom. Generate a fear and push 1 explorer or town. You can push a town out of a target land. And that has an orange. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Last is going to be Song of Sanctity. Target land is mountain or jungle. If the target land has any explorers, push them all out. Otherwise, remove a blight. Mountain or jungle. I don't have any blight in mountain or jungle yet. I'm really, because this generates fear. This defends at a 10. I think at this point I want to generate fear. Taking that card right there. And I'm going to take these other 3 And I'm going to set them aside up here, out the way. I'm going to add this to my hand. So now I have a minor power, which I add to my hand. I don't exchange. I exchange if it was a major power, which I will show you that next time. I will take a major power just to show you. But now I've done that. I do not add presence. So this is what I have. I gain 2 energy. That's what I have to spend on my powers this turn. And I may play up to 3 cards. Okay, that's fast. That's fast. And this is kind of all fear, and that does that. Okay, we're going to have a fear turn. Ready? Because I'm going to do Harbingers of the Lightning, which is push Dahan, and if I push them into where there are towns or cities, can I do that? Yes, I can. I generate fear. Okay, yeah, so we're going to do that one. Cost is 0. We're going to do Lightning's Boon, which lets me do 2 slow powers as if they were fast. That costs 1. And we're going to do the new one, Visions of a Fiery Doom, which generates fear and allows me to push a city or a town from somewhere where I have presence. Which, okay, I can do that. Alright. I'm kind of digging this. This is kind of working. Okay. So that is choose and pay for powers. We go to the fast actions. And everything I do is going to be fast. We're getting fear cards. Okay. Everything I do on this turn, and all of these are going to be fast. So I'm going to pay, and I'm going to do Lightning's Boon first, which lets me do 2 slow actions as if they were fast. Sorry you can't really read that on that, but that's just kind of what I got. But oh no, you wouldn't be able to read it here because it's not autofocus. Maybe a little better. Something I have to work on. Get a better focusing. That's better. I don't know. We'll mess. We'll mess. If I put it up here, nah, can't really. Where is the optimal focus for that? It's probably past the plane of the table, I'm sure. That's alright. I'll just do that next time because that does kind of focus it a little bit better. Anyway, I'm going to do that, so it lets me do 2 slow powers as though they were fast, and I'm going to have Harbingers of Lightning and also my innate power of Thundering Destruction I can do this turn. So that becomes a I done did it power. Next, now what order am I going to do this in? I can destroy a town. I can push a town. I can push up to 2 Dahan. Destroy, push, push. Mountains and wetlands are okay for now. Okay, I need to do something. So, I'm going to... First, I'm going to destroy a town. Let's do this power right here because I have 1, 2, 3 orange flames and 1, 2 purple peppers. I don't know. So I'm going to destroy a town, and the town I'm going to destroy is going to be this one right here, which generates a fear, which gets us a fear card, and all of these go back up. We have a fear card. Next, I am going to, and that was within range of one of a sacred site, yes. Now, where I have presence, I'm going to spend my energy there, and I'm going to do Visions of a Fiery Doom, where I get to generate a fear and push 1 explorer or town from where I have presence. And I think I'm going to push him there. These jungles are ravaging. I don't want that. Okay, so I have done this one. generated the fear because of it. I did that. I did that. Yeah, I generated the fear. Okay. Because the fear from this got a card. The fear from this got brought down. And then my other slow action. This was slow. That was 1. This is slow. So this is slow number 2 that I can do fast. I can push up to 2 Dahan. And I'm going to push them into an area with a town. So I can target an area 1 away from where I have presence. So that is 1 away, and I'm going to push it into there. And I generate a fear because I pushed it into a land that has a town or a city. So that is 2 fear there. And I have done all of my powers. Fast action powers. So now we're going to do the invader phase. We don't do Blighted Island. Not yet. Not in this game. I've not used it, so I'm not going to show you how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Not yet. Next, we're going to do fear. Play any fear cards, and we do have a fear card. So let's go ahead and look at our fear card. And we are at terror level 1 right here. So we're going to do terror level 1 fear, which is in each land defend 1 per Dahan. That's nice. That means here we're going to defend 2, which means, well, let me tell you what it means. Remember, if you do 2 damage or more in a land, you add blight. Okay? Explorers do 1 damage. Towns do 2. Cities do 3. So here, this town would do 2 damage, and blight would be added to this jungle. However, according to this, defend 1 per Dahan. There are 3 Dahan. I defend 3, which means it's like a shield. It absorbs those attack points from the town, so no blight will be added. And then each Dahan does 2 damage in against the invaders that did the ravage in that land. We'll show you here in a moment. Anyway, each land defend 1 per Dahan. That's kind of big. So I need to remember that. Alrighty. We did fear, now we do ravage. Jungle. The explorer does 1 damage. Not enough to add blight. It does do 1 damage to 1 Dahan, so we flip him over. Okay, to indicate that he took 1 point of damage. And then there are 2 Dahan that do 2 damage each back to that explorer. So he is gone because he only has 1 hit point. Cleared the jungle. This one here, he does 2 points of damage. However, they defend 3, so they have 1 more defend point than the attack. So no damage is done, no blight. They each do 3 points. And also, when you defend, like we had to turn him over because 1 point of damage was done, we don't have to do damage to the Dahan when they're defended. So they defended a 3. They block the 2 points of damage the town does. Now they each do 2 points of damage. So one of them is enough to take care of the town. And we generate a fear. That is ravage because we've done both jungles. Now we do build. Now there is an explorer here. So this desert is going to have a town built. Same here. This one is going to have a town built. Okay. Then we go to explore. Right here, the next area being explored, the sand again. This has a town in it, so that counts as adjacency. So we put another explorer right there in that desert, crowding my sacred site there. And this desert has a town. So we're going to add an explorer to that one as well. They each have 2. Okay. And then we advance the invader cards, and that is the end of the invader phase. And now we go to the slow powers, of which I have none. Time passes. We move these over to our discard. I went through a lot of cards on the reclaim hand. But, is what it is. I need to do fear next, and I can do fear with that card, so we're good. Not until after, though. Daggone it. You don't want to reclaim cards too much because you're not adding presence to the board, so you're not making the board better for you. But I think in this one, I'm just going to show you guys what this stuff can do. So, time has passed. We go to the next turn, the spirit phase. What do we have? We have 1 fear, destroy a town, so that's 2 fear essentially, but it's a slow action, and 1 damage to each invader. It's a slow action. So your ravage in your build is going to happen. I think I'm going to have to do this and get those cards back in my hand. So we'll reclaim cards. We'll gain the 1 energy, and we will gain a power card. Now I'm going to do something in just a moment because the camera just died. So give me a sec. Yep, I will be right back. Okay, we are back. I had to change the battery. They only last so long. Well, we're on an hour. That's cool. Not a problem. So yes, we are doing this growth thing here. So we reclaimed our cards. We gain an energy, and we're going to gain a power card. And I'm going to take a major power card to show you guys the exchange. Remember, we took a minor power, we added it to our hand. Now we're taking a major power, and we're going to exchange it for one that is in our hand. We have the Jungle Hungers. Range is within 1 of a jungle land where you have presence. That's how to read that. A jungle presence token within 1. So I can target this land, or this land. Destroy. Destroy all towns and explorers and Dahan. I could wipe that out. Wow. Yeah, loving things. We have paralyzing fright. 4 fear. Invaders skip all actions in the target land this turn. I'm not going to be able to spend any of these cards. I can spend the 1, not this one. That's a big one. 4 fear. That's fear card. Oh no. Alright, next is going to be Indomitable Claim. It's a fast action. Range is 1 from presence, target land any. Add a presence in a target land even if you normally could not due to the land type. Defend 20. That'd be a good one to have for that at a later point. I think I actually used that one time and it saved a game. Oh, that's a fast one. And another fast one that I could afford should I want to do it. However, I'm only going to have 3 energy, and in order to go fast, well, that one is Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. Fast. Range 2 of a site land where I have presence. Must target a land with Dahan. Oh, and I forgot to roll that back over. Sorry. 2 damage per Dahan in target land. I don't have anything where the Dahan can do damage. That doesn't do me any good. Those others I really would like, but that's probably the one I need to do within range of 1, a jungle. Or I could get that and just wait until the next turn. Oh, goodness gracious me. But that does stuff right now. Yeah, I gotta take that. Alright, so we're gonna take these minor power, these 3 major powers. We're gonna set them over here. And we need to forget one of our powers. And the power we are going to forget is 1 damage to each invader. So we'll put it right there, out the way. Add this to our hand. Energy, we're going to get 2 energy this turn. We need to change that next turn. And then we need to choose our cards and pay for them. So 3. 1 has got to be Fast Guy. Oh, wait a minute. No. That is fast, though, and that allows me to do a fear, which puts another fear card out. That one destroys 4. I can't do both of these. I can't. But I can do that. But then I can't do the fast. That's a slow one. Okay, so we're going to have to do this a little different. That's going to have to wait a turn. So we're going to do that, fear and push. We're going to do the push thing. I can afford... Doesn't let me do much of anything else, though. Next turn I'll have that, though. Okay, we're going to do Shatter Homesteads as well. Okay, so that is pay for our powers. So now we go to Fast Powers. I have 1 fast power right here. So I'm going to pay that 1 energy. Da-dee-da. And we're doing Visions of Fiery Doom, where I try to get a little better focus. Generate 1 fear and push 1 explorer or town from somewhere where I have presence. So I'm going to target this. I'm going to generate a fear, 4 fear, so we get a fear card. And I'm going to push this guy right over here, like that. I have used that one. Now, bear in mind, I have an orange, 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 purple, purple, so I will be able to do my innate power Thundering Destruction again this turn as a slow action. No more fast actions, so we go to the Invader phase. Blighted Island, yeah, I know. Fear, we have a fear card. So let's see what this fear card is going to do to these poor suckers who are about to die. Invaders do not explore into lands with at least 2 Dahan. I really hope jungles come up, because then that way that'll work. I hope jungles come up. That's the only way that does any good. Alright. Ravage is going to be sand. Grr. Okay. So these do 2 damage. 1 damage each. So 2 damage is A, going to add blight to the land, and B, take away 1 of my presence and removed from the game. It is no longer a sacred site. This one does 4 damage. 2 damage adds blight to the land. There's already blight there, so I add the 1, and I choose an adjacent land to place another blight. And now all of a sudden, we only have 1 blight remaining. If that blight gets placed, we lose the game. I have no way to remove blight, and sand is being done again, but we'll see how this goes. It gives me a free turn, because sand is getting built up on and nothing else is, so I might be able to work this. Build, there is more towns than cities. We add a big ol' honkin' city right there. We'll call it Sandsville, because this one does not have more towns than cities, so it gets a town. Like so. Doink. Okay. Then we go to explore. Please be a jungle. Please be jungle. It's not jungle. That one has a town in it, so it gets an explorer. And this one has a buttload in it, so it gets an explorer. I love the excuse of I'm showing you how to play, so that way I'm not trying to win, so that way when I don't win, hey, you know, bonus. Alrighty. So that is Explorer, Advance Invader cards. Doink, doink, doink. Slow powers. Now, I need to get rid of sand. I need to tear that crap up. That's going to end the game, though. It is. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. What do I have? Yeah, I can't do anything to the city. That's pretty much going to end it. Alright. So I need to destroy a city, no more than one away from where I have a sacred site. I can't do it here anymore. And that has to be within range of 2 from a sacred site. All I can do is push 2 Dahan into there and cause a fear. I can't destroy that city anymore. Oh, that hurt. Allowing that blight to drop, that hurt. Because it took away the sacred site, and 2 of my powers require proximity to a sacred site, and that is now my only one. So, that is the importance of sacred sites, children. Let that be a lesson to you and me. Alrighty, destroy a city within 1. It's kind of gonna be that one. Generates a fear. That is my thundering destruction. Next, I'm going to do shattering homesteads, which is right there, which generates a fear and destroys a town within 2. It's going to be this one, and generates another fear because I destroyed the town. And lastly is going to be Harbingers of the Lightning. Push 2 up to 2 Dahan. So we're going to push 2 Dahan. Range of 1 from just a place where I have presence. So here, 1. We're going to push up to 2 Dahan. Yeah, push them into there. And generate a fear. That's 4. Last fear card. And now, instead of having to wipe out all the explorers, towns, and cities, we only have to get the towns and cities in order to win the game. And then it would be only cities if we got to terror level 3, which is OCD, straighten things up, that one right there. I got a feeling we're not going to make it that far. So that is slow powers. I did that. Time passes. Avon calling. So those come over here. Any damaged units? No. We go to the next spirit phase, and I'm going to be adding presence. So we get 3 energies. I'm still not going to be able to afford to do that one. Oh well. Sacred site, Balamo. Take 3 energy. I could do only that one, but it's going to be slow. 3 energy for this, and then choose the cards I'm going to play. We're going to pretend I have 4 energy, because this is going to be the last turn of the game anyway. So I'm going to play these 2. We're going to pretend I have 4 energy. I'm a cheat. You heard it. I'm a cheat. Alrighty. So that is choose and pay 4 powers on the shady. Next is fast powers. I'm going to do Lightning's Boon, which allows me to make things faster, which allows me to do this one. Doink. I target any land that is jungle and 1 away from anywhere where I have presence. Destroy all cities and explorers and Dahan there. That gives me 2 more fear. No Dahan get destroyed. So I have presence here in the jungle. So I'm going to target this land right here. Of course, this is ravaging, but that's going to be the end of it anyway. Let's do this. So all explorers gone. All towns gone. 2 fear. Even if I did it here, which is going to ravage on this turn, the city does 3 damage. It's putting down blight. There's nothing I can do about that, so I'm not going to. Yeah, this is pretty much the end of the game. So that goes there. Next is fear. Now we're looking at terror level 2 on the fear cards. We might get lucky. Each player removes 1 interloper or town from a coastal land, not a city. Coastal lands are here, and I actually just did that. I can't remove anything. Oh, goodness. Next we go to Ravage. Ravage. Okay, they're going to do 4 damage. Towns do 2. 1 and 1, that's 4. So it does blight. Game ends immediately. Game is over, I've lost. I still want to show you again how the battle works. Okay? So they've done 4 damage. Added blight and remove a presence from the game. Since they did 4 damage, each of these take 2 damage. They're all gone. That is what's left in that desert. This, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. We would add a blight. And actually, if I had more blight, I'd put one adjacent over here perhaps. And then this one I would put adjacent here perhaps. But if I placed it here, I would have to remove one of my presents. Whenever blight is placed, for whatever reason, if you have presents there, one is removed from the game. And a game is over, and that is it. But that is how you play Spirit Island. Again, it's all about the island fighting back. It's a fun game. It's a great game. There are a lot of playthroughs online. It comes with 8 different spirits, which have asymmetrical powers. And there are expansions for more spirits and everything, but there's enough in the base game, the core game. It's going to give you lots of replayability, especially with the way the cards come out differently and everything. This game is going to play different as the day is long, and it's fantastic. You're going to enjoy it if you decide to get it. I hope this helped you decide if it would be up your alley or not. And if you're anything like me, if you're like, I want to enjoy this game, it's probably not for you. You'll know when you watch this or other videos. Don't do it just on mine. Watch 2 or 3 other people go through it. But you'll know if you want this, you know. That's the way my head works anyway. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you taking the time to check out Spirit Island with me, a great game designed by R. Eric Royce, and it is published by Greater Than Games. Guys, thank you very much for watching. This is Chris, Tabletop Sports Delaware. That's it. They're still here. Couldn't chase the riffraff out. Oh, well. Keep on rolling, guys. Have a great weekend. What?